student loan debt is ballooning, and it's a big crisis across the United States. Americans now owe more than $1.56 trillion. But for about 400 new graduates of Morehouse College, it will not be a factor. Philanthropist Robert Smith, a tech billionaire worth about $5 billion,
has agreed to set up a grant to pay off the school debt for the class of 2019. He made the announcement during his commencement speech over the weekend, stunning the graduates and their families. And Dwytt Lewis is one of the many lucky ones. He just graduated with a degree in business administration, and he can't stop smiling. So we see. So listen, Dwytt, this is a phenomenal story. I think it spread like wildfire as soon as we found out what happened.
It's on the front page of the Wall Street Journal.
I'm really curious. As we were watching the announcement being made, we were looking at the people sitting down sort of in the background and then them like realizing what was happening and then their reaction. And I'm wondering, when you're sitting there in the audience and you hear Robert Smith say that everything's going to be paid for, did you realize what he was saying at the time?
At the time, everything just felt like a movie. This is something you would see like at the end of maybe like a journeying college student, or just something made up, basically. So just looking around to my left and right at my fellow brothers graduating, it was a moment of disbelief and a moment of just wow, and just you can just feel like a lot of weight just coming off your shoulders. Is an indescribable feeling. It still feels amazing. It's the next day. Like, if there's any way to graduate, I think yesterday summed up the perfect graduation day.
Yeah, I had said to Vlad, I know why you're dancing, because you're light on your feet now.
That's right.
Because this weight is off of your shoulders.
For sure. So after he announced it, besides just representing the West Coast, as you can see, my energy in the video was just, it's a great feeling to have, and just to see someone of his stature doing something like that that's going to impact so many lives and just does so many great things for the community and challenging us to pay it forward. I think that's just an amazing step to take. And I think as a class, we will definitely accept the challenge and continue to pay it forward and give back and inspire.
So, Dwytt, talk to us a little bit about, I mean, we're looking at the financial cost of attending Morehouse, and it can range from, the low $30,000 range to close to $50,000 a year to attend Morehouse. So talk to us about what your journey has been like in terms of how you paid for your education. I want to give the audience a sense of some of the trials and tribulations that you went through, and then to have this huge weight lifted off your shoulders yesterday.
Right. So I didn't know how I was going to pay for college, honestly. That was a portion of why I kind of was hesitant to actually come to Morehouse. Through conversations with my family, specifically my siblings, older brother, older sister, who each had college loans for themselves. They just kind of told me, like, you know what, it's going to work out. Like, you just go get your education, work hard, stay genuine, keep God close, and I promise you everything will work out. So as an 18-year-old, imagine having to take over $30,000 out in loans just for one semester. When you do the math for that, it's totaling up to over hundreds of thousands of dollars. And in your last 30 seconds of being an undergrad student, right before your name is called, Mr. Smith tells you, yeah, I got you. I'm going to take on the burden of the student loan. All I need you to do is pay it forward, inspire others, and change the world. It was just a tremendous moment, especially knowing how thousands of other college students are still in student debt, as we can see, is trillions of dollars. So it's just a blessing for real.
I'm wondering if you had thought, okay, so, I'm going to get out of school and I'm going to try and get the best job I can possibly get, but I'm going to have to, maybe the idea of maybe buying a new car I'll have to put on hold, or the idea of maybe finding a condo, a place of my own, I'm going to have to put on hold. Were there things sort of financially that you were thinking about, but you thought, I'm not going to be able to do it because I have the student loan, and now you don't have it anymore and all these options are opening up to you?
For sure. So investments, for sure, especially in my creative side. I love to creative write. I love to make and write music. So between studio sessions and video shoots and things like that, it's just a lot of expenses. So just having student loans in the back of your mind definitely can cause uncertainties and maybe some hindrance for you. But just when that burden is taken off of you, you're definitely able to focus on your passions, your dreams, and just definitely invest in yourself. And now work harder to achieve these goals in efforts to give back and inspire. For sure.
You know, Emery and Dwytt, it's so wonderful to hear you say that, because it's something Emery and I were talking about, which is we can't imagine, a world where you graduate from college, you receive the world-class education, so you got all that knowledge up in here, and now you're free to go explore and use that knowledge, use the skills, use the things that you learn at Morehouse to better yourself and to better your community and better your livelihood, and not have to worry about having to pay this massive debt. I struggle to imagine that. I can't.
I know so many people are limited, but their life choices are limited because they have this debt to pay, that they can't wait for the job that they really want, because they need to get a job immediately, because this debt is not going away. They can't buy the car they want. They can't move to the city that they want. They end up staying at home or not getting married or delaying so many things. So, there are all kinds of ways to be generous, but I just find that this gift is going to be so transformative, and it's going to echo, beyond you, Dwytt. It's going to, like you said, it's going to give you the option to pursue one of your passions, whereas maybe you might not be able to because you just got to get a job and start making some money. Pursue one of your passions, and who knows the way you will change the landscape as a result. I just want to ask you really quickly, though, you alluded to the whole idea of paying forward. You said your class will most likely do that. Have you thought about ways as an individual that you might be able to pay it forward?
Yes, I've definitely thought of ways, even in the now. So I'm just coming out of college. I'm not at the level of Mr. Smith yet. However, I want to go back into my community of Linwood, California and Compton, California, and go up to my high school and just motivationally speak and motivate the youth, definitely, because the youth is the future. I also play Pop Warner football as well as high school football. I want to set aside some time and talk to athletes and just let them know things that they can do in the business world and the entertainment industry and just in art, everything. It's just so many opportunities and so many things you can do. And anyone out there with a dream, please follow it. Please work hard, and please know your worth and just share your light with the world. I think that's one
great.
thing.
I love that.
That's a great message.
We'll be watching you, man. We're looking forward to seeing all that you do.
So, Dwytt Lewis, congratulations. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you.